Good afternoon. We're back. We're back. All right. So, what are we going to do today? That's the question. That's the question. Got my coffee. Oh, we need to pin a message, don't we? Let's see. I'm working on fixing a bug reported. Hey, what's up, Arvin? How are you? You're back. Stop it. Get some help. What do you mean get some help? All right. Somebody reported a bug on one of my repos. Let's see. I think it's this one. You body. You baity. You body. You baity. I'm gonna say you baity. Yo, man, how you doing? I'm doing good. Yeah, life's well. I'm excited actually. It's getting. My wife's been traveling for the last 72 hours, and I'm gonna go pick her up from the airport in about three hours or so. 3 hours and some change. So I'm excited. Arvin, Steven, persistence is more important than these bursts. What do you mean? Persistence is like longer streams, or like you don't agree with shorter, like more frequent, shorter streams? Arvin, stream once a day, stream often. Yeah, see, the problem, Arvin, is that the way my life is set up, doing extended streams is just not feasible. Um, I have a full-time 40 plus hour a week day job. I got 2 kiddos. I've got a wife and a marriage to attend to. It's just streaming for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a day is just not feasible. So I could say, well, since I can't do that, I'm just not going to stream. But that's kind of a defeatist attitude. So right now, this is the way I can do it. I can do it about an hour for an office hour stream, and then I can do about an hour over lunch. And occasionally, sometimes there'll be longer streams, but that's the state of the union. You body, why didn't you go with her? You busy? No. So my wife's dad's birthday was this past weekend. So my wife's stepmom actually flew all of his kids out to be there for his birthday, and it was just the immediate kids. So like me and my sons didn't go. So just more of a logistical thing than a busy thing. I'm sure we'll go out there to visit though at some point. Billy the Kid, howdy. Hello, Billy the Kid. Nice username. Arvin, I mean, stream often, don't go weeks long hiatus. Oh, well, that I can't promise either, Arvin. Again, like, man, I have a life. Streaming, making YouTube content does not pay the bills, right? Nor is it all encompassing of my life. So I cannot guarantee that I will not take another weeks long hiatus. Last week's week long hiatus was wonderful. I got to spend 3 days at the KCDC conference. Yeah, it was great. So sometimes, it's one of those things where it's like making content on the internet is fun, but making content on the internet is not real life, unfortunately. All right, this guy is basically saying I've got a bug in here somewhere, which I think I know what he's talking about, actually. Let's see. I think I can reproduce this pretty easily, actually. The question is, where do I want to do this at? Excuse me. God, my nose is itching. Update the Bible. What do you mean update the Bible? What are you talking about? The Bible is in feature freeze. That's a Arvin. That was great. I can never come up with responses that clever or that quick. Sam said, "Ooh, VS Code." Fair enough, Sam. Fair enough. I don't know. I like VS Code, but but I like the joke. Do I have this on this machine? I don't even. Yeah, I don't even think I have this on this machine. So we need to clone it. We need to clone. Trading application. Hello, trading application. I don't think I've ever seen you in my chat before. It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. CWK. Hi, sir. I'm good in JavaScript and React. Can I get a job in USA-based company? Also, a fresher, please guide. Fresher. I guess you're saying you're like new or something to it. I definitely think it's possible to get a job if you're kind of like as a front end dev. You know, if you want to be a front end dev building React apps. Yeah. So that I mean, it's like, can you get a job? Sure. How long will it take, or how difficult will that journey be? I can't say. You know what I mean? To me, getting a job. I mean, there's lots of things you have to do to put yourself in a good position to succeed when you get a job. But to me, getting a job is a lot like selling a product or selling a service. It's really about it's a numbers game, right? You're just trying to get yourself in front of as many people as you possibly can. You want like a really big top of funnel because the number of people who are actually going to interview you is very small, right? So the number of jobs you apply needs to be a lot because the number of people who are interviewed is going to be even smaller, and the number of people who offer you is going to be even smaller, right? So I definitely think it's possible, but largely it comes down to a numbers game. And like I said, there's obviously things you can do to improve your odds, right? Like you can have have a good portfolio, do networking with people at companies that you want to work for. All those sorts of things obviously put you in a better position to be successful. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to like persistence and enthusiasm until somebody gives you an opportunity. Notification. I've never seen a a Spanish username with this message. You've been warned. Possible critical error on your channel. I'm gonna hide this person. What? Is code not in my path anymore? What has happened? What? Is there a shortcut to add it to the path? Oh, no. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to figure out how we... How did I fuck that up so bad? Oh, there is a shortcut. Install code. Install code. Well, Stack Overflow's liars. What's the path? Oh, hold on. Windows path to VS Code. Somehow I screwed this up. I'm not really sure how I did it. Okay, shell command. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Try from Windows terminal. Yeah, no, it should work in PowerShell. It just needs to be added to the path. I was screwing around with some stuff this weekend, and I think I blew away a bunch of my path settings accidentally. Let's see, path to VS Code CLI. There should be a path to that binary. But I don't know what the path is to that binary. I wonder if it's let's see. Let's make this a little bigger. What if we do CD it's like visual ls. This is gonna derail me from my agenda. Huh. Info Nation, can you do a backflip? No, I cannot. CWK, please make him hide. What are you talking about, CWK? Mike, environmental variables. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. I need to add the VS Code bin folder to the path environment variable for my user, but I don't know the path to that bin folder. That's what I'm actively Googling. Let's see, path to VS Code CLI on Windows. You wouldn't think this would be this hard. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's go. CD local app data. Yeah. Let's see. Run. Let's see. App data. Local. What did that article say? Users, local, programs. Yeah, that's not Microsoft VS Code. Maybe it's under Microsoft. Huh. Yeah, I don't see it. The default code binaries location is here, but programs. It would help if I read. Yeah. It would help if I knew how to read. There you go. Look. VS Code bin. We need to copy this. We need to go to my settings. Environment. Variables. This is always what happens. You sit down to do something, and something doesn't go right. And then you spend 10 minutes trying to figure it out. Alright, so we gotta close Visual Studio Code now. We gotta restart our terminal. gotta go code. Looky there, we fixed it. Yay! Okay, so what was the issue? So this fella reported that basically what this app does, trading, yeah, trading application saw local programs. Yes, thank you, trading applications. It would really help if I read better. I should read more thoroughly, is the key. CWK, what are we archiving here? Well, we're not archiving anything, but if you meant what are we achieving, we are going to try to fix a bug on this project of mine that somebody reported. So basically what this application does is it basically takes data from Azure Active Directory. It takes user and group data from Azure Active Directory and moves it into another system. And as a part of that, what it basically modifies some values that are presented in a list. And my application is accidentally adding a value it shouldn't be adding. So that's what we need to do first, is we need to reproduce this. So I need to create a configuration file like this in order to reproduce it. So that's what we're doing right now. It's okay if none of that made any sense to you too, because some of this is very contextual. But yeah, this is what I want to do with my lunch break today, so that's what we're doing. You're welcome to hang out. Hello, Mohammed. How are you? All right, so I'm actually going to make my configuration file off screen because, well, there's some sensitive information that I have to put in this config file that I do not want to expose. Okay, so we need to go cp source example config, and we're going to make a copy of that. And we're just going to put this on I'm just going to put this on my desktop. Config.json, like that. And then I'll do the editing of this off to the side. So excuse me. I've been really into, so I got an espresso machine. I got a nice Breville espresso machine a couple weeks ago, and I've gotten really into these. Have you guys heard of this coffee drink called a long black? It's basically like an Americano, but in reverse. I guess it's an Australian thing. Long black. Yeah, this thing right here. So like the difference is basically that you pour your hot water first, and then you pour your shots of espresso over the top of the hot water. This has been my go-to drink recently. I mean, I still just drink shots of espresso, but yeah, this is my latest coffee obsession. Arvin, trade secrets, delicious. I'm not giving away any trade secrets. This is actually a program I built as part of a hackathon. God, it would have been almost 3 years. No, 2 years ago. Almost 3 years ago now. It was part of a Microsoft Graph hackathon. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Microsoft Graph, but basically, Microsoft has like one API to rule them all, essentially. So if you want to interact with anything in Azure or any really Microsoft service, you go through this API called Microsoft Graph. And they sponsored a hackathon like 3 years ago that I participated in, and it was a lot of fun to build. Sorry, I'm trying to talk, I'm trying to type, and I'm not a great multitasker. Waves Coder, hello, bro. How are you? Hello, back at you, bro. Waves Coder. Hello, right back at you. Mike S. I will have to try that coffee. Yeah, it's really good. Like if you like I think the benefit with doing this way is that you get some of that crema that you would normally drink in an espresso because you're kind of carefully pouring it over the top. But yeah, apparently it's an Australian, New Zealand thing. It's pretty good. I mean, this is a stream called Code Coffee and Chat, so there has to be some coffee talk. Okay. So there's actually quite a bit of information I need to put in here. So the first thing, let's see, the first thing I need to do is I need to set up a. I think I already have. I'm pretty sure I already have a configuration file like this somewhere. I really don't want to have to recreate this. I think I already have one. Did I delete it? I'd be so frustrated if I deleted it. Because if I have to recreate all this, it's going to take me way longer than my lunch break to fix this bug. I wonder if it's in my recycle bin. Excuse me. Yeah, it's very good. It's very good, Mike, for sure. Arvin, I'm not into Microsoft Stack, to be honest. I'm not anti-Microsoft Stack, but I use GNU and Java. I don't know what GNU is. What's GNU? Oh, I found it. Yes. Okay. So if I restore that, oh, that's going to save me so much time. Okay, so I found it. So basically, I have a configure. You can't see it. It's because it's off my screen right now. But basically, I have a configuration file that looks like this, but has actual live values that I can use to actually make this application do what it's supposed to do. So let me just double check. Yep. So then what I should be able to do is I should be able to say, let's create. This is my favorite VS Code thing. So they have the shortcut that says create terminal in editor area, and it will actually create a terminal that's like a tab in your editor, which is really nice. Bave gooning to this right now. What's gooning? I don't know what that means. Nesla, which programming stack you using? So this application is built in C#. It's basically a console application is all it is. It's basically just a small little binary. I publish it as a single binary, and the idea is that people can use it to basically set up like a scheduled task or like a cron job on their server. But yeah, it's written in C#.net. Babe, what are you working on, Daddy? Well, I am actually a 32-year-old dad of two. So, but what I'm working on is I'm working on basically fixing a bug that someone reported on an open source project of mine. So I should be able to do .NET run project source. Let's see, what it's like on Spring. Yep. Actually, I think I can just do project source. And then I think I can do C, OneDrive, desktop, syncer config. Let's see if this works. Oh, crap. I broke it. Of course it doesn't work. Nez Paulson. Thanks, man. Looks great. Yeah, I don't know if it looks good, but, you know. My husband married my grandmother? Oh, that sounds rough, LOL. That sounds rough, man. I don't know what to tell you there. That's rough. Yeah, what Stuck said. Leave your family tree. Exactly. Stuck's what you building? I'm actually working on trying to fix a bug in something I've already built. I always forget how to do this. Anybody know how to initialize submodules in Git? I forget the command. Let's see, Git. Is it Git submodule? I think it's Git submodule init. And then Git submodule update. Oh, you can do it all in one command now. I must have done this before. Okay, so .NET build. Let's just try to build the solution. Okay, so now we got a successful build. So let's try to run that with the configuration again, and let's see what happens. There we go. And it's working. Wonderful. So now I need to find out which instance this is talking to, because I actually don't remember. God, I want to say it's like... See, I should have prepared more for stream. A Brave. Git submodule in it. Oh, man, you knew it off the top of your head. Or I guess your name isn't A Brave. It's A Bave. A Bave. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. What does RF... I think ROFL means rolling on floor laughing. I think that's what that means. If I'm not correct. If I'm not mistaken. It's hard to keep up with all the kids' lingos. Yeah, rolling on the floor laughing. Stux, did you read my paragraph? No, Stux, I did not, because I've been working since... I've just been heads down working since I got off the office hours stream. Okay, so... I think this is... Dang it, man. I can't remember. I cannot remember for the life of me where this is sending data to. I think it's, hold on, let me see. Maybe I have the password saved. Yep, I do. There we go. Oh, that's not good. Arvin, read my... I will, Arvin, I will, but I just haven't had time. I just haven't had time. Yeah. Okay, so basically, here's the bug, right? So this is a list. This is a list field. You don't need to know the application that this. You don't need to know anything except this is a field. It has these potential values. These. See. Hold on. These values right here are okay. These values right here shouldn't be being added. And so that's the bug I need to fix. So I basically need to not add false and true. So real quick, let me delete those real quick. This is the work of fixing a bug. It's not terribly exciting work, but it's what you got to do. Also, if you're a Vim user, I don't know how many of you guys use Vim, but there's this gosh dang it. There's this motion that Butterscotch, he's one of my chatters, he taught me, and it has been a lifesaver. So let's say you want to select anything inside of the double quotes here. You can type VI shift double quote, basically, or single quote. I guess it's just double quote, VI double quote, and it'll select everything inside of that. I know that sounds like so simple and rudimentary, but since learning how to do that, that has been one of my most used Vim motions. Because it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Saves me so much time. I was using Vim for like 3 months without knowing how to do that. All right, let's see. Okay, we need to delete this guy. Whoops. Makes it easy. I'm doing this all off stream just because I'm afraid of leaking keys. Okay, so now if I refresh, okay, you can see now. Okay, so you can see now. Here's the bug, right? So you can see right here, we have, whoops, we have all the values that are supposed to be there, right? Now, if I run my tool again, it should add the true and false back. So then we'll reload the page. Yeah, so you can see. I know, this is a silly little bug, but it's a bug. So we need to stop my app from doing that when it runs. So let's do that. I think there's a method in here. Actually, let me just search for it. Let's see, Control B, Control Shift F. I think it's called sync list values or something like that. Yeah, right here. Sync list values. I think this is where we're gonna have to make the fix at. Yeah, so this app uses reflection. This app uses reflection to basically take properties and values of those properties from strongly typed C# objects and map them to fields in sort of a weakly typed platform where users can kind of define their own data model. And we sync list values because the list value has to be there before you can populate it, right? You can't populate a value into a field if that value isn't yet a candidate for that list. So that's why we sync them over. Dismal. Hello, Dismal. How are you? Good to see you again, man. Quantum Fox. Hello, Quantum Fox. How are you? Let's see. What language is this? Arvin, this is C#. This is C#. So basically, I think basically what I need to do in here is I need to make sure if I'm syncing. So what do I pass in here? I pass in all the list fields. And we pass in the field mappings. So properties that are mapped to list fields. And this is where our config comes into play. So we have ints mapped to strings. So basically, I think I can just do a check here. I think I can just do it. Yeah. It's been a while since I've worked on this app, so it's like I'm trying to build the context of like how I structured everything. This is a problem that happens with this is a problem that happens with projects, right? As you create something and then it sits and you don't work on it for a long time and then you forget what the hell you were doing and why you were doing it. Yeah, I think I can just check to see if the field belongs to the user's app, and if the name of that field is status, then I should skip it. I think if I add that as a check, that will fix my problem. So, do I have access to the options here? Yeah, settings. Okay. So, let's see, down here. Field. So this is a list field. So I think if we just do something like if field dot name is status, which I think actually I can do settings dot on. Do I not have the settings? Yeah, settings. Why is that giving me bad intelligence? Oh, my wife just texted me. She's at the airport. It's wonderful. for those that don't know, I said this earlier, but my wife's been traveling for the last like 2-3 days, and I gotta go pick her up at the airport later, and I'm very excited to see her again. I've been a single parent for like 2 or 3 days, and I'm kind of over it. Let's see, eye settings. What does this have on it? So why am I not getting good completion here? I don't know. So let's say equal settings dot onspring dot user status field ID. Yeah, I think I can do that check because that's decided very early on in the application's initialization. And then I think I can just skip it if I do this. So let's do field, this should be field ID. But we also want to make sure, oh no, we can just do the ID because IDs, so field IDs are unique across the whole platform. So this is all I need. I think this will fix the bug. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this will fix the bug. So right now we have false and true, so I'm going to remove those. And then I'm going to run this again, and it shouldn't add them back now. That's what I'm hoping. What language are you guys talking in chat? Shadow, is this C++? No, this is C#. The content creator is in my chat? Like, the content creator? Hey, Steve, what's going on? Oh, nothing much, man. Yeah, life's good. I'm a little blown out, so I'm gonna close the windows a little bit behind me. One sec. That's a little better, I think. Yeah, that's better. Oh, you guys are Dutch? Nice. Very cool. I wish I knew Dutch. I wish I knew any other language besides just English. I really should make an effort to learn one. Alright. What was I doing? Oh, I was deleting. The values. Let's see. I might actually get this finished before the end of my lunch break. Let's see. We've got true and false. So I'm just deleting these list fields using a Swagger page. So, which if you're not familiar what Swagger is, it's just like playground docs for APIs that you can use to make exploratory calls. And this is an easy way to delete those values. Okay, so if I refresh, we should see. Yeah, hold on. Did I not delete that? Oh, yep. I deleted the wrong. Okay, so you can see now, let's see, we are back to the values we want. These are the only values we ever want in this field. So if we rerun our tool now that we made that change, awesome. So if you were here earlier when I demoed this, that list was being modified that I showed you just a second ago. And now it's not. So I just ran the tool and it's still those 3 same list values. So I think we're good. I think the only thing I need to check is make sure that, I think I just need to make sure that the statuses for users are still being set properly. Which it looks like it, but let me portal. Shadow. I thought so. What kind of application are you trying to develop? So this is just a console application, Shadow. It basically moves data from one place to another. Specifically, it moves data from Azure Active Directory to another platform. That's basically all it does. The content creator. I've been using FCC. It's going very well. That's awesome. So you're by FCC, I'm assuming you mean Free Code Camp, and that's wonderful because I think Free Code Camp is awesome. Those guys are tops over there. Yes, I am bug fixing. So I'm developing or I'm fixing something that I had created a while back. The content creator. Pick up a copy of Pro C# 10 and .NET 6. Oh, you picked up a copy of Pro C# 10 and .NET 6. Can't wait to get stuck in. Yeah, man, check it out. .NET's wonderful. Although we are on .NET 9. So we're on C# 13 or 14. So we're kind of far along from those places, but once you get your feet wet with C# 10 and .NET 6, you should be able to kind of move forward full speed with all the modern stuff. I mean, .NET 6 is modern in the .NET world because there's still people that are building stuff on .NET Framework 4.8 or 4.7, that are using C# like 4 or C# 5. So Shadow. I need to make a new GitHub account. My last one was deleted because I forgot to add 2EF to my account in 2023. Oh, that sucks, man. If my GitHub got deleted for that, I'd be really frustrated. I've got a lot of stuff on my GitHub. Dismal. My phone is on 1%. I might dip. No worries, Dismal. Yeah, man. You need to get a charger, bro. Okay, so we should, what should we do? We should check out a branch, I guess. Oh, hold on, no. I wanted to make sure that also, just so everybody's clear, I do know that Azure Active Directory is no longer Azure Active Directory. Microsoft renamed it to Intra ID. But when I built this application at that time, it was called Active Directory. And I didn't feel like renaming everything. Let's see, users. I think I need to check out a branch, don't I? Git checkout B Stephen Freeborn fix. What was the issue number? Number 50. Number 50. Address list values being added to user status field. Yes, I do like a good long branch name. Years of work gone. Dude, that sucks. I mean, that really does suck. Maybe did you have any of those Git repos like locally? Because I'd be really frustrated to log in and find my shit all deleted. Okay, I've got 10 minutes to finish this bug. I think I already have a fix. It's just I got one more test I need to run real quick. need to switch directories. I don't. Enter the code. I tell you what, MFA is such a pain in the ass. I know it keeps me secure, but there's a lot of friction. I had a few locally. Eesh. Yeah, I mean, having a few, if you had quite a few on GitHub, that really sucks. Let's see, settings. We'll enable this guy's account. And then we'll just rerun this. .NET run. I think it worked. Let's see. Oh, is he not? Let's see. Uh-oh. Did I break it? Why? Well, that's no fun. Sorry, I'm doing some of this off stream just because I don't want to leak any of my secrets, which I know isn't very thrilling for you guys, but yeah, this should work. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, I know why it's not working. Never mind. I know why it's not working. It's because of this. It's because I had a group. I basically was filtering out the user that I was testing with. So this thing was not syncing the user that I thought was being synced. So we need to try this again. This time it should work. Boo, it worked. Boom. Not boo. Boom, it worked. The content creator. Which test suite are you using? I'm doing all what I'm doing right now is just manual testing. Which I guess I could add a unit test for this scenario, actually. I probably should do that. I do have an existing test suite for this project, but I probably need to add a unit test for this specific case. Debo Jeet. Bro, I have a question. How can I build neural network using CPP? I've never used CPP. I'm guessing you're saying C++ is what you mean. I've never written any C++, so I don't know how you would use C++ to build a neural network. The seeker of secrets can never be satisfied because once they learn it, it is no longer a secret. Dismal. Getting philosophical with it. Debo Jeet, please explain. I can't explain, man. Content creator. Can't wait till I write code and build apps as well as what's on the screen. Well, I don't know if my app is built well. So I built this 2 years ago, and inevitably what happens is you're your own worst critic because your skills get better, right? So there's stuff in this application that I look at and I think, oh God, why did I do that? And I think, but that's normal. Like that's how it's supposed to be, right? If you're improving your skills over time, you should look back at things you built in the past and you should be able to say, you know what, if I was to do that today, I would do X, Y, Z differently. Right? So I think it's totally normal to look back at things you built, years ago and be like, that's not so good. And that's definitely every time I go back to this app, I think, I don't know, I don't know if I would do it that way now, but it is what it is. Eye of the Corvax. Yo, are you coding? I'm sort of coding. There's an open source project that I have out there on GitHub, and somebody logged a bug on it, and so I was reproducing the bug, and then I was putting together a fix for it, and I have that fix, and I think the only thing we need to do now is probably add a test for it. So let's jump into our test project. Actually, hold on. Let's commit the fix before we. Let's see, git add git commit. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna write this commit message over here. So we'll say git add git commit, and then we'll say fix address. What do I want to call this? Address status value issue. Let's see. The user's status field should never have its list values modified. Added a check to avoid syncing property values when property is mapped to the status field. I think that's clear enough. So we get push this up, and then we need to add a test. But I'm at the end of my allotted streaming during lunch time. Call Kedan McConan. Please run it first. I do not see. Hello, Keyshawn. How are you doing? Well, if you run this app, all it does is it prints to the console, but basically all it's doing while it prints to the console is it's basically taking data from Azure and moving it into another platform. So it's just printing out a progress of that as it's doing that work. That's all it does. Eye of Corvax. Got to go. See you, Eye of Corvax. Supreet Sup. Does working on open source take a lot of skills? I think it just depends on what open source project you're going to work on, right? Like I think if you if you go, you can go and contribute to like the free code camp site, and there's a lot of different ways you can contribute over there. You can contribute to docs, you can contribute to the curriculum, you can contribute to the actual code base of their site, right? Like, let's say you want to go contribute to FFmpeg. That probably takes a lot of skills, right? You got to know how to work in that tech stack. You got to be familiar with audio and video codecs, right? So, Supri, I don't think it takes a lot of skills just in general, but in order to contribute effectively to an open source project, you have to have the proper skills for that open source project, right? So it's definitely I think within your wheelhouse to go and do. The level of difficulty I think will just vary from project to project. What is the BS of imposter syndrome? The more I learn, the less I know. What's going on. Do tell us, kind sir. Yeah, that's the learning process. That what you described is you'll 9 times out of 10 have one question, and in the process of answering that one question, you're going to come out with 5 more. That's just learning, right? And I think I don't know if you guys have ever seen those memes where it shows like a curve, and like on one side it has like kind of like a picture of like a Neanderthal looking dummy, and then on one side it has like the Jedi Master, and then or it has like Jedi Master on the far right, Jedi Master on the far left, and it has like a dummy in the middle of the bell curve. And it's kind of just illustrating the fact that like as you learn, it's very easy to overcomplicate things, and then as you learn even more, you start to realize, oh, actually simplification is better. And I think that's just the natural evolution of a skill set. It's like you start out, you don't know a lot, so you keep things pretty simple. Then you get into the weeds, and now you know a lot more, but you sort of become a little bit arrogant and about what you know and how much you know. Then you learn even more, and you sort of come full circle, and you're like, wow, there's a lot I don't know, and it's better to just keep it simple. And I think it's particularly illustrative because if you look at somebody who has like a PhD, right, they tend to know a lot about a very small area, because it's just impossible for you to know all the granular details of every subject. So that's completely normal. Like that experience of being like, I know some, but I know enough to know what I don't know. That's totally normal. You just can't. Where it becomes a problem is if you let it stop you from doing things. Right? You don't want to let it overwhelm you and keep you from trying and learning new things and trying to apply what you have learned. Keyshawn, Vim versus Nano. Nano's fine. I think now I'm more comfortable with Vim Motion, so probably just use Vim if I have to. Syed, hello Syed, how are you? Snowman, what code language are you using? So the thing that I'm working on is a C# console app. So that's what this is. It's C#. C#'s wonderful. So if you haven't tried kind of like modern C#, modern.net, and you hang out in my streams, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably gonna try to convince you to try C#. Especially if you're someone who really likes TypeScript, you should go try C# because it actually won't be that big of a lift to go either way. To go from C# to TypeScript or TypeScript to C#, you'll feel familiar. Elmar, I've started studying Go. Well, I've been trying to learn Go as well. I've been spending about an hour a day. My goal is to use Go to solve advent of code this year. That's kind of my goal. So that's why I've been learning Go. So far, I think the thing with Go the only thing with Go that bothers me is everything returns the result or an error. It kind of has that discriminated union pattern, which I think is good. But I also think it makes my code look more noisy compared to what I do in C# usually. But yeah, it seems like a really good language. Keeps it simple. There's kind of one way to do things, which is nice. You don't have to think about like six different ways to loop. There's just one way to loop, I like that approach. Dane Main said hi. I like C#. I like C# as well. Yeah. So at the moment, C# is my favorite language, followed by TypeScript. Those are kind of my two favorite languages at the moment. If I could only ever write one language again, it would be TypeScript, but my favorite is C#. All right. Well, I'm not gonna have time to write that test. Keyshawn. Well, Keyshawn, hey, look at that. Thanks for the super chat, Keyshawn. That's super kind of you, man. I appreciate you. Very kind. Although you didn't put a message in there. You should have put a message in there, man. Actually, I am gonna stub out my test though, so that I don't forget to come back and implement it. That way, if I try to open a PR, the PR will fail. When future Steven fails to remember what the heck he was doing. Let's see. We want sync list. Yeah, right here. So we'll just add a new one here that says fact, public, async, task, sync list values. When called, it should not sync. It should not sync. Well, I'm going to say it should not add property values to user status field list, something like that. I know that's long, but and then I'll just say throw new not implemented exception. This way, if I try to open a PR, my CI/CD flow will run and it will fail because this test will throw an exception, and then I'll remember to come back. I'll remember to come back and implement this. Let's see. Stub out test. And then let's update that GitHub issue real quick, just so that guy knows that let's see. I've reproduced this issue. Should have a fix published today. I'll come back this evening and finish this. Thanks for reporting. Redoing the JS track on Free Code Camp was refreshing, but damn, I struggled a bit with regex until I decided to practice more regex. It's just as you decided, aka the learning curve. Yeah, regex, I mean, does anybody really understand regex? I mean, I think simple regex, like, you know, white space or one or more characters, things like that, I think for most of us, we can write simple regexes. But, you know, when you talk about writing a regex to validate an email address, right? Like 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to use one of those like regex testing tools, or you're going to ask an LLM these days to help you implement that, and then maybe you'll just write some tests against that implementation to make sure it actually works correctly. But yeah, regex is just not. Yeah, it's not fun in my opinion. It's very powerful, but it's not fun. Dan, man, do you use VS Code with C#? I do use VS Code with C#. Yeah. I use, so when I write C#, I use NeoVim, Rider, VS Code, Visual Studio. I kind of use whatever editor, you know, I want to write C#. Those are kind of the 4 editors that I currently have in rotation at the moment. Arvin, sometimes I wish I don't wish that hard, Arvin. You probably wouldn't be very productive if that was the case. Keyshawn, it's Google Opinion Rewards, free money, have to do 40 something to write message. Oh, that sucks. Well, yeah, no worries, man. I mean, I'll take whatever super chats you want to give me. And if it's free money, all the better. Keyshawn, I never learned regex. I used to Google I use to Google now AI. Yeah, Google AI. Yeah, complex regexes. 9 times out of 10, if you're writing a complex regex, there's probably somebody who's already written a regex to do what it is you're trying to do, like 9 times out of 10. But yeah, AI is very good at that. There's a test site that I use quite a bit called regex tester. Let's see, what is it? This one, regex 101. I'll use this quite a bit when I'm testing regex. Now, regex implementations vary from language to language, so you usually want to use whatever your. Oh, thanks for subbing, man. That was very kind. Thanks for subbing. You usually want to use whatever like your language specific regex engine is. But yeah, I usually use this site if I'm unclear because I like the fact that I can put test strings here, and as I write the regex, it highlights the parts of the string that it matches. So yeah, usually I'll use this for like if I'm doing something a little bit more complex or involved. It's also great if you want to test an LLM's output, right? You can take what the LLM gave you, paste it in here with some of your examples, and see how it performs. It's a pretty nice site. All right, guys, I got to get off here. That was it for me for today. That'll be the end of my stream career for August 18th, 2025. My plan is to be more consistent now that my kids are back in school and we're kind of back into the school year rhythm. So my plan is at the moment to try to stream at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Central Standard Time every day. That's my goal. Sometimes those times will change if I have meetings or whatnot, things going on at work. Or sometimes I'll opt for like a longer 2, 3, 4 hour stream in the evenings. So I'll try to keep you apprised. The best way to get notified of when I'm going live is to join our Discord, which I'll put that in the chat. I have a Discord bot that posts every time I go live on my YouTube channel. So that's the best way to stay up to date. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. Sorry, Tuesday for you. Have a wonderful Tuesday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, y'all. Bye, Keyshawn. Bye, the content creator. Good luck with the free code camp stuff. Excuse me, the free code camp stuff. See you, Arvin. See you, Stux. All right, bye, guys. Appreciate y'all. Bye. To run. Sorry, you just joined and I'm leaving, but I apologize. Bad timing. See you, man. Bye.